Welcome back to SwitchCorner. My name is Alex and today we're going to be taking a look at my favourite deals across the Nintendo Switch eShops covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. This video, any price goes. If you want budget instead, do check out my Thursday edition where I keep everything sub $10 or of course your local currency. Then as always, two winners to announce for two $10 eShop gift cards as we go through this video today, and then two more of course to give away as well. All you need to do, drop a comment down below and the winners, they'll be announced in next week's video. So without luck, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family and let's get started. So today it's a monster week for sales. It's going to be quickfire, that is for sure. I have 22 games to take you all through. Now kicking us off, we've got The Persistence. Horror fans, this one's well worth a look if you like the idea of a first-person survival experience with a sci-fi setting. The idea, you're on a ship slowly heading towards a black hole and you need to get things powered back up and out of harm's way. To complicate things though, the crew has basically mutated and it is a roguelike, meaning you die, it's gonna be back to the start of that run again. It started as a VR experience but transitioned really well to console, and this is a new all-time low with 50% off. Race fans then, Burnout Paradise Remastered. While I do consider Need for Speed Hot Pursuit the better game down to the crossplay functionality online, this is still a fantastic racer with a new all-time low of 50% off. Explore this city though, take part in races, unlock a ton of vehicles, and then of course see all manner of carnage in typical Burnout takedown fashion. A minor issue for me exploring to find races, it did get a little bit tedious, but otherwise this is a strong port that looks fantastic on the Switch. So while I'm on racing, Lonely Mountains Downhill is a different type of racer. Start at the top of a mountain on your bike, make your way to the bottom. It's that simple. The thing is, it's a lot more difficult than it sounds. You're going to be completing challenges and basically working out that perfect run. It's not a new all-time low, this one, but it does match it with 33% off. But I just wanted to give this one a shout out as this week it saw a physical release from limited publisher Super Rare Games and it's absolutely addictive. The only issue for me, the occasional minor frame rate drop, but otherwise I am a big fan of this one. Music fans then, AVICII Invector Encore Edition. I love this one. It's a rhythm game with a sci-fi setting built of course around the music of the late AVICII. With every sale though, donations are made to his foundation, which is always going to be good to see, but it's a great concept as you basically switch lanes and fly through space. You gotta like his music of course, honestly, but otherwise this is the definitive edition which packs in all DLC, so that's an extra 10 tracks, and it even has high score chasing and multiplayer modes. This then marks a new all-time low with 20% off. A fan favourite now then, Blasphemous, matching its all-time low of 50% off. I wanted to mention this one because this week saw the release of the free Strife and Ruin DLC that throws Miriam from Bloodstained into the action. A fantastic 2D Metroidvania. It's hard as hell, but the gothic-like world and tight platforming, it got its claws into me and I definitely felt the addiction. Alright, so a couple of UK, EU and Australian exclusives now, and as a warning we do have 5 of them this week. The UK, EU, Australia regions, you're winning this week, that is for sure. Those of you like me though, US and Canada based, I'd say either region hop or just add them to the wish list because I do see them coming our way soon. First up though, Manifold Garden, a fantastic first person puzzle adventure that's built around the concept of infinite spaces. The minimalist design though and truly creative ideas make it, in my eyes, an absolute must buy with 30% off. Then fighter fans, Blazblue Centralfiction is always on sale in the US and Canada, but it's good to see everyone else getting a chance now, and this is a new all-time low with 66% off. For me, it's the best fighter on the Switch, no question about it, and 2D fighter fans, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't own this anime fighter. With arcade modes, online play, offline, even a story mode which is basically a visual novel, you will easily get your money's worth. And the combat system, it's super deep and it's going to take some serious time to master. So before our first winner of the week then, a quick self-plug. This week saw the launch of the SwitchCorner Twitch channel and my friend Corey, he is leading things over there. The idea, new games daily and more content for this channel. If you haven't already, maybe swing by and say hello. Last week we streamed Hades, Mario Persona 5 Strikers, and then this upcoming week we've got Curse of the Dead Gods, Taxi Chaos and Hellpoint. I would love to see you all over there though if you haven't checked it out already, and then a big shout out to the near 400 of you that have joined us already. So our first winner of the week then, it's going to Ricardo Luna, who took a pass last week on picking anything up. That may have been a wise decision given the number of sales we're seeing this week. Honestly as well, at this point I look forward to those weeks to stop the damage to the bank account, because it can get near endless at this point with such a huge library. Congrats though Ricardo, drop me an email to claim your code, and of course we do have a second winner coming up after a few more games later in the video. Next up then, we've got Crysis Remastered. It's back on sale, matching the all-time low of 40% off. The age-old question though, can it run Crysis? The Nintendo Switch responded with a resounding yes. It's a fantastic port, it runs great, and yes, there is some frame drops here still, but that's every platform honestly when it comes to this game. The combat is amazing though, and the story is fun. It basically surrounds invading aliens and all manner of sci-fi tech for your squad. NEXOMON Extinction then is on sale with 25% off. It's a new all-time low. This was an iOS Android series originally, but it's now found its follow-up heading to consoles. I absolutely adored it. I reviewed it like many of the games on today's list on the channel, and I will be linking them all in the pinned comment down below. But it's basically a love letter to Pokemon as you explore this world, just hunting out evil while collecting all sorts of monsters. It had a few design quirks at launch, like a brutal difficulty curve, but even that at this point it has been patched out, and I strongly recommend it for you more old school Pokemon fans. Another new all-time low then is Red Faction Guerilla Re-Mastered, which sounds like a bit of a dad joke of a title, but it was always a great game. This is the definitive edition. It's pretty old now honestly, it for sure shows its age at times as well visually, but that ability to free roam around Mars, take down your enemies, and just blow everything up thanks to destructible environments, it just doesn't get old. If you want brainless action, this is going to be the one for you, and it's a new all-time low with 65% off. If you want an open world but with more brain power, then a favourite of mine in 2020 was Paradise Killer. It's about as strange as they come as you enter this almost surreal world to solve the murder of a council in a world of gods. The idea though, in this world, the planets you live on, they die, and each millennia or so you transition to a new home. On the eve of your next move, the council in charge of that event, they get murdered, and you take on the role of Lady Lovejoy to solve this mystery. Be careful though, you only get one shot at solving it. 30% off, it matches the all-time low, and it's too good not to mention. A relatively rare sale now, and it's Huntdown, a 2D run and gun experience that owes a lot in my opinion to the movie The Warriors. In this twisted future, gangs basically rule all, and you are a contract killer who must take down these enemies. Think over the top boss battles, challenging run and gun gameplay, tons of enemies, and yeah, you can die in seconds basically. Then it's all topped off with stunning pixel work. The soundtrack, it also kicks ass as well, but the highlight for me, it's going to be the 3 playable characters. We get a human, a cyborg and a robot. It even has 2-player local co-op if you need an assist from a friend. A couple more region exclusives then, and we'll start this with West of Dead. This week sees the release of Curse of the Dead Gods, which looks very similar in its style, but think more like Darkest Dungeon. This one though, it takes the Hades formula, probably being the closest comparison, and throws you into the afterlife of a Wild West world. Become a lone gunman though, with similarities to Ghost Rider, think a skeleton skull on fire, and try to perfect that roguelite run. It's then elevated though as well thanks to voice work from the legend that is Ron Perlman. 35% off here, it is a new all-time low. So while I'm on roguelites then as well, Fired Bastards finally hits a sale for the region. It's a solid 40% off. It's another one we've seen in the US, Canada before. Here though, you're stranded aboard a starship, and it's actually a jail in fact. Now we need to get to safety, and who's disposable? The prisoners, of course. So here you're going to be taking on the role of a prisoner. You're going to navigate a starship through a map and try to make it to the end of a run, meaning you got to kill everything, you got to have food to eat, and then you need fuel. I was tough on this one in my review, down to some frame rate drops, but I got addicted following that review, and now I think I was maybe a little too tough, honestly, as I just absolutely adore it. The best bit, each run a new prisoner means different traits, so like some may be tall, some short, some see in black and white, some scream when they pick up loot, by far the worst one. It is though an absolute blast. Open world fans, Saints Row is back on sale, and it's both entries here, the 3rd and 4th re-elected. Both are offering 55% off. We've seen this deal on the 3rd entry before, but it's a new all-time low for the 4th. Saints Row though, it's just extremely immature and over the top GTA, and it's a blast for it. While I personally prefer the more grounded tale of the 3rd entry, you're basically leading the Saints against the Syndicate, the 4th finds you inheriting superhero-like powers and taking down aliens. Both are fun though, but it just depends on what sort of action you're looking for. Alright, so a shout out now to one that definitely divided audiences, but Ghostrunner, misleading with their trailer. Sure, you know, the Switch visuals, nowhere near what you're seeing right now on screen, so check out my video below. But this one, it's a first person katana wielding kind of one-hit experience. For all its problems though, I still found something to enjoy in this super challenging cyberpunk-like world. It suffers, as I said, from the visuals that just didn't live up to expectations, and then some also like performance drops. Consider it a warning, but I know a lot were still interested, so this is a new all-time low with 30% off. So race fans, a couple of quick ones for you now then. MotoGP 20 hits a new all-time low, and it's a huge discount, 70% off. It's the best entry so far with solo races and an extensive career. Where it lacks though is it has that weird visual where, you know, the shadows don't quite connect with the bike, so it looks almost like you're floating, and it lacks online play. Honestly though, it's a lot easier to be a bit more forgiving for bike fans, and it actually performs best this one if you're playing handheld. Another one then that I didn't really see a huge deal in myself, but many love, that is Inertial Drift, a drift racer with cel-shaded like style. I loved the way it looked, I just didn't really enjoy the attitude of its story. Everyone's like best friends and competition doesn't seem to exist. This is for you though, time trial fans, as the big issue for me was the fact all opponents, they are ghosts that you go through, and I felt like it took the edge away from the racing. I like the idea of kind of like drifting very closely past someone. Not a huge discount, but still the lowest yet with 20% off. So before we do get to our second winner then, our final region exclusive of the week, that is Mad Rap Dead. Really unique game this one, it's from NIS America. It's basically a rhythm platformer experience, meaning you need to progress while kind of jumping and making your way through these levels to the beat of the music. As a lab rat though, after death, come back to life and get revenge on the human who experimented on you. It's got a lot of character this one, it's super weird, a lot of fun though, and it's offering 30% off. So our second winner of the week then, it's going to Andy Lafant, who highlighted how good Ni no Kuni is and the exceptional art design from Studio Ghibli, and yeah, it's an absolute must buy for me. I love this game, great story, great JRPG mechanics, just can't fault it. I'm just a huge fan of the series. Hopefully we see the sequel at some point in the future too, but look, congrats Andy, drop me an email, and everyone else, leave a comment down below for a chance to win in next week's video. With that though, onto the final two games. So our penultimate game of the week then, this is Monster Sanctuary. It's back with 25% off. It comes from Team 17. They just seem to be on a roll right now with pretty much hit after hit. This one, think Pokemon meets Metroidvania, and you get the idea. So lots of exploration, lots of platforming, monsters to catch and evolve, and then of course battles to fight in what are 2D tactical strategy battles. It even has online play if you want to take your team online, and these fights, they are 3 versus 3. It's cool stuff. The Metroidvania monster catching combination really does work. The final game of the week then, that is The Long Dark. This is a personal favourite, and in my opinion the best first-person survival experience on the Nintendo Switch. Not that it has much competition honestly, outside of the also very good Green Hell. Find yourself here though, stranded in what is a snow-covered location, and simply try to survive. It's a huge game which has a story mode that's going to be good for beginners, where you can kind of learn the ropes. You set out on an adventure that kind of goes wrong very quickly. It even has chapters still to come that will be free downloads. Then though, you can of course face off against a true survival mode and just see how long you can last. It was a favourite of mine in 2020, and with 33% off, it's a very easy recommendation. And that's it, another week down and a huge week at that. There's still plenty more happening in the eShops worldwide right now. So as with Thursday's video, my suggestion, if there was ever a time to kind of dig for yourself, this is it. Remember then, drop a comment down below for a chance to win one of the 2 $10 eShop gift cards in next week's video. Of course then as well, congrats again to this week's winners. With that though, a shout out then to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch, as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.